Calculating slope from a graph. Slope, which we represent with the letter M, is calculated from one point to another on the graph, moving left to right. So we always move in left to right direction when we're calculating slope. It's the rise over the run between the points. So we actually have a formula, M equals rise over run. The rise, the measure going up and down, is positive if going left to right you're moving upwards, and negative if you're going down. The run will always be positive. Now when we calculate slope, we leave the answer in fraction form unless it's over 1. So an example, if the slope, we count out a rise of 6 and a run of 10, and we simplify 6 over 10 down to 3 over 5, we leave that like that. We leave it there. There's a rise of 3 and a run of 5. However, if we have a slope like 4 over 2, and we simplify that down to 2 over 1, over 1 means we're going to simplify that again. We're going to get rid of the 1. We're just going to leave it as 2. So 2 over 1 becomes 2. Only if 1 is the denominator does this happen, and it just makes everything a little neater. Now we have a couple examples. In our first example here, I've marked off a couple points on this line. Now on your graphs, you're going to have grid, and you'll actually pick points that are exactly whole number values. So don't pick 3.5 and 4 or something like that. Pick whole number values so that we have no decimals. So here I got a point at negative 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 4 and 7. My other point here is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and negative 3. Now, given these 2 points, when I calculate the rise over run, what I do is I draw a little triangle to help me count. So I go from one point to the other. And then I count the rise. So in this case, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes down 10. So that's a negative 10 for the rise. And then the run, I count over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it runs 10 as well. So the rise is negative 10 and the run is 10. So the slope, which is rise over run, is negative 10 over 10. And that simplifies down to negative 1 over 1. And again, since that's over 1, we just write it as negative 1. There's my slope on that first graph. Now, in the case of the second graph here, I've only marked off 1 point. We can pick points that cross nicely on the axes like this one does. This one crosses exactly here and exactly here. So we have 1, 2, 3 different points marked off, and we can pick any 2 we want. This rise over run from this point to this point will be exactly the same as the rise over run from that point to that point. It's always going to be the same between any 2 points that you pick. So I'm going to pick this point here and this point here as my other one. So I'm going to draw a little triangle. Now it doesn't matter if I draw the triangle on this side or that side. It's whatever works for you. But when we calculate this point, or this rise over run now, it rises 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes up 5 and goes over 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has a rise of 5, positive because it's going up, and a run of 4. So the slope, again, rise over run, equals 5 over 4. And that's simplified. Leave it as a mixed fraction or an improper fraction. Don't make it a mixed fraction. Don't make it 1 and 1/4. We don't want that. That's bad. This one here allows us to go back and count that out. To count 1 and 1/4 is a little bit difficult.